Hello everyone. Today I'll be demonstrating how to use Puppeteer to load approximately 30 Instagram posts into Instagram with about 10 images per post, all automatically and with the click of a button. One of the issues you might encounter while loading photos to a post in Instagram is that the dimensions are strict with Instagram photos in their posts. So I'll demonstrate here how I have photos of two different dimensions that I can take with my phone. One is a 9 by 16 photo, which is a tall photo. And also there's a 3 by 4 photo. So Instagram requires a 4 by 5 vertical photo. So what happens when you put in a 9 by 16 photo is a lot of the information from the top and bottom of the photograph is actually lost relative, to this. So if you want to preserve all this information, the solution I use is that I will put a background template and I'll fix the 9 by 16 photo onto this background template. And I do that automatically with a PowerShell script. So I will demonstrate that. Here is the PowerShell script. And what it's doing is it's going to take my root folder and it's going to go through all the folders inside of the root folder. In my demonstration here, I have one folder and it's going to find all the JPEG photos inside. And with each JPEG photo, when you take them, the EXIF data from your phone, or at least my phone, isn't, it's stored, but the system.drawing.image in Windows doesn't account for the EXIF data. So I actually have to analyze the EXIF data in the photo, and I have to reorient it, and I have to rotate it so that it can be properly affixed to the 9 by 16 template. And then, so I tell the script where my template is located. I go into each folder, get the name of each JPEG. I examine the EXIF data. If it meets a certain number, then it will rotate automatically for me. And then I use ImageMagick to take the template and the 9 by 16 photo and affix the 9 by 16 photo on top of the template to center it. And then I modify the quality just a little bit so that it is a smaller file size that Instagram is happy with. And so I will show what happens when I run this script. So I have my photos here, and it is going out of this test folder. It'll find my 000 folder inside, and then I'll start modifying the images. So here we go. And we get in, and you can see it live. And it only takes the 9 by 16s and does the modification. And so now I have my 9 by 16 photo as a 4 by 5 with my background. And when I go back into Instagram, discard this one. And I'll take. So now when I go and change it to 4 by 5 for a post, it gets the full image Um, and this is important when I do the automation to load up like almost 30 posts at a time. It will make sure that every single image has the same dimension across the full posts with all, and it's pretty consistent and works well. So this is the current state of my Instagram profile. Here you'll see I have 563 posts, and I'm going to be using my JavaScript program to load in a number of Instagram posts that are collections of pictures out of my load folder here. So I have approximately 24 posts that are going to be going up on Instagram. I have given the folders a particular name. It relates to the location where the photos were taken. And every folder contains a post.json file that contains information about the city and the date of the first photo. And the program will be able to take in those JSON files, and it'll be able to sort my posts by date. And also it will come in and it'll create an array of objects that will have the caption, and then it will contain the dimensions of each photo, and then also an array of the images that I'm going to be loading in for each post. So I create this array of objects called sorted posts in my files class here, and I return that as this files, this array of objects is sorted posts out of the files.getSortedPosts. And then I go into my Puppet class here, and I create a browser instance of with Puppeteer. And how that's working is it's going to take this browser here, and it's going to make a connection. It'll fetch the WS the WebSocket URL, making this fetch because the browser is serving out this information at this local host URL. So it's going to grab the browser page right here, and it's going to give access to Puppeteer. And let me make sure I had the right page. So it's going to pull the first page out of the browser, and then it's going to, so it sets the browser up, and then I go to start site. So I go to start site. I'm just going to go to this Instagram URL for my own Instagram profile. And then now I have the sorted posts. I'm going to pass it into submit all posts. And what that will do is it's going to loop through all the posts that I've collected out of my load folder, and it's going to start processing them. So I have a little diagram here to show what the logic is going to be. So I'm gonna access this page here, and I'm gonna be looking for these elements. So I'm gonna grab this create anchor, which is this create right here, and then I'm gonna get the post and use the selectors to grab that. And when you click the posts, you have your file upload section here. And so I grab the file upload and then I load it into the input. And then once the files are loaded, I gotta select the crop button and then set it to 4x5 dimensions for the images. And when you set 4x5, it sets it for the whole image set. So I resized all my photos to be 4x5, so they'll be consistent for 10 images within the posts. And I click next a couple times. And I can write a caption in, which it does it automatically. And then I share it, and then wait for the post to be confirmed as shared. And then it refreshes the page and does everything all over again. So here in the JavaScript, I'm doing all that here. I'm grabbing these elements, using the selectors, and I'm doing it with Puppeteer. And then when you do this wait for selector, it waits until the element appears in the HTML, and then it takes control of it, and then you're allowed to click it, which is what I'm doing here. And then I'll grab the files, and then within this individual post that this is looping over, this is looping over the array, and then when it processes the individual post, the key of images holds all the image information, and it gets put into the upload. And then it grabs the crop button, sets 4x5, and then clicks next a few times, and then types in the caption. It can find the caption with this text area selector. And I'm using this wait till HTML rendered, because I don't want to be too fast in doing all this. I have to it scans the HTML document and then checks over like 250 milliseconds whether the HTML document that is accessible has been modified from the past, from 250 milliseconds ago. So it verifies that the JavaScript has run and that the HTML is completely silent, or there's no modifications going for some amount of time. So now the caption will be entered, and then I can click the share button, and then it will refresh and move on to the next post. So here is the main function. All I gotta do, I can run this out of the debugger now. And so I'll start it, and we'll go here. It should refresh this. There we go. Let's refresh the page. It grabs the first folder, which is this. All right. And it takes all the images and loads them in, all 10 within the folder. And it will take some time, but it successfully posts. And once this successful post is rendered and the graphics come up, it recognizes that the graphic has arrived, and that's what tells it to refresh the page. And it's a bit quick, but you'll even see the caption get typed in. So it grabs so it's loading the photo in, it selects the cropping, then it's clicking the next button, and it does all the typing automatically. And I'll be able to do this until you hit a limit, which is typically anywhere from like 25 posts to 30 posts per 24-hour period. And these are images I took in Guatemala almost 2 years ago now, with my cell phone, $100 Android. And when I was doing this, I didn't really understand photo dimensions and image quality. I was just, living in the moment of being in a foreign country and a place that, a very beautiful place that didn't have many tourists relative to a lot of other cities I've been to. But I was able to wander around. This place is called Xela, or Quetzaltenango, and go and climb a volcano. It was a great time. And so yeah, this posting these images is very therapeutic, I guess. Very good memories. I can even dogs on roofs in Guatemala was quite the experience. Or you would walk around and they're like the understanding of dogs is different there. They're there to guard the home a lot of the times. And this is a dog on a recycling heap. There are a lot of stray dogs too. So if you ever want to adopt a dog, check out Guatemala. It would be nice. But the good thing is, now that I'm running this automation, I can talk about the experience in Guatemala and how I saw a volcano that I would eventually climb. But yeah, I got a rooftop view of Volcan Santa Maria. It was, that was one of the more beautiful things about Guatemala and the highlands is you can see volcanoes all around you pretty much. So, highly recommended, but it's off the beaten path for typical tourism in Guatemala. So, you have to make an effort to get out there. Let's put it that way. In order to get there, I had to cross the border from Mexico and go on the internet and find a shuttle service. I sent an email to a random listing I found on Google, and I contacted them and I got in the shuttle and they brought me across the border into Guatemala. So it was actually pretty successful relative to what I was expecting. And I had no problems crossing the border into Guatemala and eventually arriving in Xela. But yeah, I could go up and walk. It took a few miles, but I could walk over to the volcanoes and just get some really beautiful views like this. And yeah, it really makes you miss the place. It was a very unique culture, and if I can get the chance, I would definitely go back. It's totally different than being in the United States, that's for sure. But, so yeah, the automation is gonna keep going like this until you can check and see where it's at. Let's see. So we got the cow. Which one are we in? Past this. There's no bull yet. Here's the bull. So this one's getting posted right now. And it continues on to the next one. All right. So the animation is going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I got to get ready to film another video to demonstrate my technical capabilities. If you got any questions, please leave a comment. I'll try to post this into a GitHub repo. But it is important to take note that I'm connecting to a browser that's been logged in, and when you're using Puppeteer on websites like Instagram, you got to worry about authorization and making sure that you're, you look like a real person. By the way, this is this is how street dogs are in Shayla. They have whole packs of them, and they can sleep together. It's so cute. But you should try to adopt them. So, but yeah, let us see. So I'll let this post finish out. This is me getting up towards Cerro Quemado. I guess I'll keep going. But yeah, this is up towards Cerro Quemado, where you can climb this volcano. And I started doing it on my lonesome. And I look down, and you're way high up. And I'm just scared to continue climbing higher because it's, rocky. It's legitimate climbing of sorts. And I'm questioning whether I want to keep going to the top. But then I see, these grandmothers climbing up with children on their backs in sandals. And, at that point, I could not stop myself from going to the top of Cerro Quemado. So it was a fantastic experience. And it's a religious site, so there's a lot of people climbing the volcanoes in Shayla, and they go up there and leave flowers, and do religious ceremonies. They'll have religious gatherings, and yeah, you're on the top of a volcano with all these rocks. Really cool scene, but there's tons of people that go up there to pray, and they do it pretty much every week, I think, and it's quite the experience if you ever get the chance. And when you look down from the top of Cerro Quemado, you see the whole valley below you. So it's a real experience, but you do have to be confident enough to climb up to the top. So, and eventually I would go, yeah, this is me at the top here. And yeah, the whole valley is behind me. So it was an incredible view. And the sun was out, so I would get a pretty bad sunburn from walking around Quetzaltenango so often, but it was worth it. And we're still going with the posts here. So you see how many posts I have put up. Let's see how close to the end we are. So this is the last one. So here we go. Once this is successful, the browser, I think, should close out. And there we go. And now it's all out. And I have finished posting my Guatemala photos, all automated through Puppeteer. Once again, if you have any questions, leave a comment. please subscribe. And yeah, hopefully we'll be in touch at some point in the future. Thank you. Bye.